Hi, it's Jenni Smith at Jenni Smith Sews. Let's get cracking on the Splendid Sampler 2 sew along. This is Alex Veronelli's Quilt Market block, which has a very nice story behind it. And the main points to say about this one is that I am using, it says in the instructions if you can, to have 14 medium or dark prints. But actually, as you can see here, I'm going to, in some of my rows, I'm actually going to use the same fabric for both sides, and I'm going to mix it up on a couple of them. These fabrics, by the way, are the Liberty quilting cottons. This is the Orchard Garden range, which comes out in fall 2018. So I'm basically going to pretty much follow the colour scheme of this block here, because I do think it works really well, having those mid-tone blues and then some dark navies, and then I've gone for some yellow accents in the centre strip as well. Your centre strip is 1 inch by 10, and the outside strips here are 1¼ inch by 10, and you sew them up into units and then cut them down. So actually, if you haven't quite got 10 inches length of something either, it's really not a problem, because as you can see at the end, you're going to end up cutting quite a lot of way. You're making longer strips to get these lovely intersections and angles into the block, but then you're going to have a bit of wastage. I'll be able to come up with a nice project for those. And I picked up this ruler from my studio, thinking especially in this case it's going to be really useful to have a 6½ inch ruler for when you come down to the trimming down in a moment. When I'm sewing the strips together on my machine, I'm having the lighter coloured strip facing up, just so that I can ensure my 1/4 inch seams run parallel on those, so that when I press them I won't have any wonky lines. These small arrows there indicate that they want you to actually press the seams open at this stage, so that you'll find your 1/4 inch seams here will go back on themselves and kind of block any light coming through actually on the front, because you've got 2 lots of lighter colour behind on that channel. You press from the wrong side, and then you do have to give a really good press on the right side as well for that to lay flat. So these are my blocks now as they have been cut down, and the diagram explains in which order you sew them together here. So it's basically putting this unit here next to this one, and then onto this one, and then when that's one unit, this will add on, and then the long red one, and then this way, and this along the bottom, so that you can then cut it down. And also, just to show you, these are the scraps here that are left over, which I'm thinking it'll be fun to use for a pin cushion or something like that. And when you're piecing these lengths now, I would just always sew on the side that's got more join. So I'm going to put it into the machine this way, and then I can ensure that these seams continue to lay flat and in the way that they're supposed to be going as I construct the block. This is the strips all sewn together, and then I've put my 6½ inch ruler on the top, and I'm guessing that to centre it here, I'm going to go with 3¼ inches here, lining up with that initial top point of section A there, and making sure you've got coverage all the rest of the way around. And then again, with what you cut away, you could try and make something interesting.